Well, I guess it's time to bust out that old swoop bike that you've had in the garage for the past 10 years, sitting there collecting dust and just generally being in the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you did not read the title of this, because this episode is all about Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. Not one, not two, three. Knights of the Old Republic KOTOR 3 is possibly in development right now with EA. This story comes from Cinelinx, and I will link them in the description below. As you can see on my lovely table over here that I rarely acknowledge, we have some glorious games including Knights of the Old Republic 2 and Knights of the Old Republic. Yes, I have the CDs. I am that old. Those are original from when I bought them. But let's get back on topic here, because a long, long time ago in a city far, far away where EA is headquartered, they struck a deal with Disney to make some Star Wars games. And in the beginning, it did not go well. Well, it kind of went all right, because we got Battlefront 1, which was all right. We were all a little disappointed that it didn't live up to the classic Battlefront 2, but we were so starved of a Star Wars game, we were excited. So EA crapped out a general shooter, and we're like, yeah, this is good. Hang on a second. Where's the story mission? Why can't I defend or conquer the galaxy? Why can't I do most of the things that were available in a game 10 years its junior? Well, EA said, well, we gotcha. Hang on, let's put a 5-hour story campaign into Battlefront 2. Make it look really pretty. I mean, this game is absolutely gorgeous. The graphics were stunning, but let's crap out something that Call of Duty would be ashamed of. So, yeah, we got that. They've now turned that game around, and it is significantly better than it was. But that was it. Those were our choices for Star Wars, unless you went way back into the mythos, into the pre-EA dynasty, the Lucas Games, actual physical games, which are still amazing. I highly recommend going back and playing them. You can find them all on Steam for generally different discounts. I think I rebought, because I couldn't get those discs to work without a lot of issues. I rebought most of the games for about $3 a piece, so not bad. And I'm sure they will try to put them on sale to try to drum up some excitement for KOTOR 3. Oh man, I'm excited. So if you're not familiar, in the latest Star Wars movie, Rise of Skywalker, they had made mention to Revan and a few different events that have happened through previous Star Wars games that were not canon, but now they're bringing them back, so they are canon. So we're kind of in this weird spot where we're like, well, you talked about Revan, but the rest of the game isn't canon. And you kind of did this, but you didn't do that. So everybody's a little bit confused. And now, with Project Luminous, I will link that video up here, you have a more cohesive brand where Disney is trying to Marvelify Star Wars, trying to bring everything in and make it even bigger than Marvel, bringing in the games, TV shows, Netflix. I lump all TV shows with Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff, Disney Plus, bringing all that in with the movie universe. So I think this is a cool idea. Now, with KOTOR 3, what they're going to do is it's not going to be a true sequel. It's not going to be a true remake. It's going to be a reimagining. Think Resident Evil 2 remake. How that game really just, it was a good game, but it was definitely dated. So what they did was they took the essence of that and brought it forward into the 21st century so that everything was just better. That it flowed better, it worked better. It's still Resident Evil 2. It hit a lot of the same story beats. They just improved everything rather than just slap a new skin on it and call it a day. So I believe that's what EA is going to do here. So Cinelinx had previously written in 2016 that the Knights of the Old Republic was put on the back burner. And are we surprised? Because EA are a bunch of money-grubbing bastards, and they want to grab and squeeze as much cash out of everything as possible. Look at what the loot system was in Battlefront 2. I mean, they tried to nickel and dime you after buying a full-priced game. Full $60. And if you bought the special edition, you thought you were going to get away with something? Hell no. They were still going to, even though you paid probably $40 more than the base game, you still had to buy all these crazy loot boxes and loot crates and try to actually get characters who were worth playing, lest ye grind for 40 hours to maybe get Luke Skywalker. Maybe. Not even, like, the amount of hours you had to put in were absolutely insane, and I'm glad that they changed everything now. So, Jordan Mason then heard nothing. He's the writer and editor-in-chief at Cinelinx, so he heard nothing about any of the Star Wars games that were going on. And then, out of the blue, recently, he just heard from 2 independent sources familiar with the game. From this, we were able to gather that, again, this isn't so much of a remake as it is a reimagining. And I think this is going to be great. EA begrudgingly put out Jedi Fallen Order. In terms of ad campaigns and marketing, there was nothing really done to promote this game to make it a fantastic billion-dollar idea. Because let's face it, we're so starved for Star Wars material. If they had something that was even half as good as Fallen Order, we would have been tripping over ourselves going, I need that right now. I need to get that. I need Star Wars. I need a Star Wars game. And then on top of that, Jedi Fallen Order is a great game. I think this is awesome. So EA learned a hard, slow lesson that I don't think they really have learned. That they are being told by Disney that, hey, guess what? You're going to do this. Or else. There's a mouse in the house and he is going to wreck EA. What's great about this is, as I mentioned with the whole Project Luminous and trying to bring everything together, this is one of those games that they're talking about bringing it in. Because look at all the information that we got from the original KOTOR series. All the different aspects, all the different lore that we had, all the stories, they talked about the Mandalorian Wars, they talked about Jedi Civil War-ish, Civil War, quote-unquote, with the Sith versus the Jedi and trying to get all that going, and the Star Forge, and all those different aspects there that we can talk about. It had, like, the origins of pod racing there. They had swoop bikes, which, let's face it, that probably became pod racing in some form or fashion. Much like how back in the day, NASCAR was just a bunch of rum runners seeing who had the fastest car, and now we've got funny car, NASCAR, open wheel, closed wheel, F1, all those different racing leagues and categories here. They had probably created a whole bunch of different things like that. So what I'm saying is they have so much information that they can bring into the Star Wars universe, make it canon again, and they have such a wealth of information that they can draw upon. The next set of Star Wars movies that we're going to get happen a couple hundred years before the rise of the Empire. So they realize that if you keep going back to this well between episodes 1 through 9 in that rough time period, you're going to run out of information. You're going to run out of stuff to do. You're going to become super predictable. Let's face it, most of the Jedi were exterminated between episodes 3 and 4. So we know that if something happens in between there, some story comes up, think of The Force Unleashed. We knew that Starkiller had to die. He had to somehow die, whether it was in glory of battle or a heart attack. He had to die because he could not be around, since Luke was supposed to be one of the last Jedi around. Going and exploring a new area like this, I think, is going to make a world of difference. I think EA will hopefully realize that they were missing a boatload of cash if they actually made a good single-player game. Yeah, throw a multiplayer on there. Maybe there's some kind of deathmatch style game. Maybe you could actually incorporate swoop bike racing and make it kind of a kart racer or a semi-realistic racer where you could actually bring that in. And then you make it multiplayer, make it online, make them buy skins, make them buy things that will not necessarily improve the bike in a speed sense or a handling sense or anything like that, but give them skins. Then market the different skins and all that stuff. Look at what Destiny has done with the different skins you can put on your ship, and you see that for about 5 seconds in a loading screen. Well, last time I played, loading screens were more like a couple minutes, but I digress. Anyway, EA, I think, is finally going to make something here. I think they're finally realizing that with the success of Jedi Fallen Order and the crappy marketing that they did, that if they actually put some love and attention into the marketing side of things, we know that the developers put so much time and effort into making this game not only look beautiful, but play beautiful. There were minimal bugs that I ran across. You didn't have any game-breaking issues that I've really heard about. Yeah, some people definitely had some issues because the second that game comes out, within the first hour, there are more people who have played that game. There's more playtesting done in that 1 hour than they could have ever hoped to achieve just during the development process. And that's a numbers game, and I get that. You're not going to be able to find all the bugs at one go in one playthrough because there might be some system specific, like you didn't know that this motherboard with this RAM with this CPU and this graphics card would cause this one little glitch, and only a handful of people have that type of setup. So I get it, you can't catch every bug, that's not a big deal. But overall, the general positivity to the game, how they tried to just slip it in, not even get it into any of the games awards, not just the games awards, but all the different awards for games. They didn't even try to get it into a bunch of that for 2019. I think in 2020, we're going to see it nominated for a bunch of different things here. I think it's going to be a great game. And I think if they put that kind of detail, that kind of attention into Knights of the Old Republic 3, I think it's going to be a great game. I think that we're finally going to be getting some great Star Wars games like we did before, like when we had Rogue Squadron, when we had Galactic Empire. That was a great RTS game. I loved playing that. I love Knights of the Old Republic. I don't really play many RPGs. I've bounced off of a lot of them. I've given Red Dead Redemption a fair shake. I've played 20 hours and I just couldn't get into it. I played Fallout 4. I played again 20, 25 hours. Could not get into it. I kind of got into Dragon Age. That was about the only other one I really got into. I played Mass Effect. I liked Mass Effect 1 and 2. Played about 2 hours of Mass Effect 3 and never finished it. So, Knights of the Old Republic, I've played that through multiple times. If you check out my previous live streams on Twitch, you'll see that I really do enjoy these games. I really love playing these games. And I've actually gone back to play this RPG multiple times. Dragon Age 1 and 2. I've played them. I've beat them. I haven't gone back to them. I tried to play Inquisition. Again, played 10 hours of that, and I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm good. Mass Effect 1 and 2. Played and beat both of them. Haven't gone back. Played a couple hours into Mass Effect 3 and went, nah, I'm good. There are so many RPGs that I've tried to play, and I just couldn't get into them. The Outer Worlds is really the only other RPG that I've thoroughly enjoyed just as much as KOTOR. So, please, EA, don't screw this up. Otherwise, not only will the fans get pissed at you, but the House of Mouse will rain down upon you fire and fury like you have not seen before. So, I'm speaking from a point of passion here, where I really want this to be good. I really want to enjoy this. I'm enjoying Jedi Fallen Order. I really want you to just go and say, hey, we need to make this game great. Here are the funds that are necessary. Not give it some outrageous bloated budget for $1 billion and then get pissed when you don't make that money back, but give it a reasonable budget, whatever that reasonable number is. I don't know. I'm not a game developer. I'm an opinion guy. I give you my opinion, and my opinion is don't screw it up. Okay? Don't be a dumbass. You've bought this license. You got this license from Disney. What have you done with it? You haven't done anything with it up until the last couple years. You scrapped a whole bunch of other, what were single-player games, and didn't do anything with them. You didn't try to remake them. You didn't try to do anything with that. I think the idea of Star Wars 1313 is absolutely fantastic. You could have been a bounty hunter going around collecting bounties. I think it's still a great idea. I think you should look back into that. I think you should look into the storylines of some of your previously canceled games because you're like, it's a single player game. We don't need that. Are you kidding me? Single player games are so much fun. Yes, multiplayer is a blast too, but sometimes you just want to play a game by yourself. So just to bring this all back around, I'm very excited that they're going to make a Knights of the Old Republic 3. I really am. I'm really cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic. If you recall from what I said back at my Project Luminous vision, 1 good game is an accident. 2 good games, that's a coincidence. 3 is a trend. So this could be game number 2. This could be, if it's good, a coincidence. I'm really, really rooting for them. I know they don't want to put out a bad game. I really understand that. But with their track record, I'm not too certain. They screwed up Battlefront 1. They royally screwed up Battlefront 2. They've gone back and fixed it, but it should have never been that way in the first place. They should have come out with that game originally with how fun it is now. They should have come out with that. And I understand you want to make some extra money. Throw some skins on there. Charge a couple bucks. I'm not going to buy them. I think skins are stupid. I really don't care. But for people out there who want a hot pink Darth Vader, go for it. Be my guest. I don't care. I really hope that this Knights of the Old Republic 3, or whatever they decide to call it, is going to be a great game. I really do. I want it to succeed. I'm not rooting against it. I'll be following this one very closely. If I hear any updates, I will let you guys know. Trust me. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. We make new content daily. And don't forget to take care of yourselves, both physically and mentally. You are loved. You are wanted. Just remember that a little bit of self-care will go a long way. Reach out to your friends if you need help. There's always help out there. You are loved. Thanks for watching.